this video right here is going to be about Venus and Serena Williams, their upbringing, their upcoming into the sports world. Unbeknownst to the majority of people, that these two are not what they seem. And we have to look with the spiritual eyes. We have to use the Holy Spirit, the Ruach, intuition to see these things from a deeper level of thought versus the two eyes that we see in this physical realm. But what are they conveying to the audience, unbeknownst with the symbols, the symbolisms, and so forth? But here we go.
Now for part 2 of our series, in which we look back at the talented youngsters to have been profiled on Trans World Sport long before they became sporting superstars. This week it's tennis aces Venus and Serena Williams.
Konnichiwa. Bonjour. Hola. Hola.
Hola. Yeah. Hola.
So we're going to go look up the word trans, and as we can see, Trans World Sport. So we're going to go to the etymology of words to look up that word and see where its origins come from. So the word trans means word forming element, meaning across, beyond, through, on the other side of, to go beyond, from Latin trans, prep, across, over, beyond, perhaps, originally present participle of a verb, ter, meaning to cross, from pi, tri, variant of root, tier, cross over, pass through, overcome. In chemical use, indicating a compound in which two characteristic groups are situated on opposite sides of the axis of a molecule.
It was November 1992 when Trans World Sport travelled to the United States to film with 12-year-old Venus Ebony Star Williams and her 11-year-old sister Serena Jamaica. We spent the day with them at the Rick Macy Tennis Academy in Florida.
Here's a question I'm sure you've been asked more than once.
Yes.
What do you want to be when you grow?
Tennis player. I like to be a tennis player.
Is there something else you want to be? What would it be?
A veterinarian. I think I'd be an archaeologist.
Really?
Yes.
What interests you about archaeology?
Mostly dinosaur bones, and then after that, Indian civilization.
Oh.
Pretty unusual career. If you were a tennis player, who would you want to be like?
Well, I like other people to be like me.
That's a good answer.
Born in Compton, California, one of Los Angeles' poorest suburbs, we learned that it was their father, Richard, who started them playing tennis before they were 5. He saw sport as their ticket out of the ghetto.
I had watched the tennis match on TV, and I really didn't see the match. When the match was over with, and they was giving this young lady $40,000 because she won the tournament. And I figured since I worked for $52,000 all year, and this girl make $40,000 in 4 days, I knew I was in the wrong business.
Venus and Serena were the only daughters born to Richard and his wife Oracene, who married in 1980. Oracene had 3 daughters from a previous relationship. To further develop their talent, Richard moved the family to Florida so that Venus and Serena could enroll at this tennis academy. They'd been here in the Sunshine State for a year by the time we met up with them. Back then, many in the American tennis world were already aware of the potential of the Williams sisters. Venus had played 63 junior tournaments and won them all, and Serena had won 50 of her 52 competitions. What set them apart was their outstanding athleticism and power.
What do you think is the best bit of your game?
The best part of my game? Good. I think it would be my return serves or my backhand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that something you're working on at the moment?
Yes, I was.
What about you, Serena?
So my backhand down line is my best shot. It's my favorite too.
Is it?
Yeah.
However, when the family moved to Florida, Richard withdrew his daughters completely from the junior tennis circuit. He wanted to protect his daughters from the intense competition and allow them to concentrate on their studies. He believed that some girls were entering the competitive tennis arena far too early.
You know, a lot of times, the truth is really hard to accept. You know, the truth divides people. Lies only, make people come together. And once we start realizing that, then we can understand how the world really is. We're that conductors behind the veil, like the Wizard of Oz. So, Mr. Williams, Serena and Venus Williams' father, he says some words that are quite interesting. But, you got to look at it from a three-dimensional point of view, okay? Not from a two-dimensional point of view, so to speak. But just check out what he says.
These girls, they're not developed physically nor mentally. They're not ready to play, and they haven't worked yet. And the third reason they shouldn't come out that early, it's too hard on the families. These girls, they're not developed physically nor mentally. They're not ready to play, and they haven't worked yet. And the third reason they shouldn't come out that early, it's too hard on the families.
They shouldn't come out that early. It's too hard on the families.
See, a lot of times they admit, unbeknownst to the masses, of what they're actually saying. It's just that you gotta have eyes and ears to hear what they're saying, unbeknownst to the mass public. Now, transgenders, trans athletes have been around for decades. So we've seen other trans athletes come out after Caitlyn or Bruce Jenner. Now, if Serena's and Venus came out, that would be detrimental to a lot of people in the psyche as well. And then one would have to question, well, what is real from fake? What is reality? What is perception? And so forth. This world is very contrived. It's mostly based in narratives, and it's a dream state. La La Land, right? The American dream. Nothing is as what it seems in this reality.
Excuse me, aren't you Bruce Jenner?
No, I am not.
Are you sure?
Don't make me knock you out.
Oh, can I get a grip shirt? Oh, sure you can. Come on over here.
Alfredo, look who I got to help me cover the grip torch run. Super Bowl MVP, Larry Brown.
Larry Brown?
It's a miracle. Alfredo, the tongueless man, speaks.
Aren't you Bruce Jenner?
It tears the family to pieces. And we are a great family. And bringing the girls out later, it'll be better all around for the family, for the girls, for tennis. So in our case, we'll come out later.
So at this stage in their development, tennis was limited to just practice sessions that were overseen by their father, who had this to say about 12-year-old Venus.
Every champion that lives has 4 main qualities, and she has all those qualities. And you can't teach them, you have to be born with them. You have to be rough, you have to be tough, you have to be strong. And mentally, you just have to be unbelievable sound. She has every quality to be a champion, and she will be. And that's what makes Venus Venus. And Serena, it's something like a pet bulldog. Once she get a hold to you, she won't let go. Serena plays angles better than any woman or any man I ever seen play tennis. And she's so strong. And she hits the ball so well with a ground stroke. And her hands are just unreal. Serena will probably be a better player than Venus. That's not to compare about girls, but she will be.
Yeah. Rotate from the hip.
This glowing view of the sisters was reinforced by the Academy's owner, Rick Macy, who had previously been the coach of a young Jennifer Capriati.
There's no doubt in my mind, I've worked with enough good kids and pros. Both kids definitely can go as far as they want. I think the day will come that both kids might play each other in the finals of a Grand Slam. I think both of them have the capabilities to be top 5 in the world. Richard's very fortunate. He's lucky to get one in the family, but he has 2, and both the girls have that ability.
So now we're going to look up trans world sport and see its origins. Trans world sport, TWS, originally stylized trans world sport, still used in some television listings and electronic programming guides, is a sports-oriented television program produced by IMG Media in London, England. It is shown worldwide on a variety of syndicate television channels. It is the world's longest-running weekly international television sports program and has been in continuous production every week since May 5th, 1987, 34 years ago. Today, it is shown over 50 countries with a household reach of nearly 200 million. For over 25 years, Trans World Sports has brought the top names and events together with offbeat and esoteric stories from the world of sports. Now, I highlighted that word, esoteric, keyword, esoteric stories. So now we got to look up the word esoteric and understand its roots and its meanings. Now we're going to go to the etymology of words, esoteric. I'm going to butcher some of these words, so bear with me. 1650s from Greek esterikos, belonging to an inner circle. Lucian from esteros, more within, a comparative adverb of esos, within, from pi, ends, o, suffix, form of ends, extended form of root, in, classically applied to certain popular and non-technical writings of Aristotle, later to the doctrines of Pythagoras. In English, first of the Pythagorean doctrines. So now we're going to look up the word exoteric, pertaining to the outside, external, also open, suitable for communication to the general public, popular. 1650s from late Latin, exoticus, from Greek exoketeros, external, belonging to the outside, okay, suitable for the general public. So basically, we are not getting real history or real education. It's a narrative that's presented to the general public from the higher ups. Only the higher ups get that real knowledge of the world and what it really is. It's only the masses of people that are taught, life is about black and white and so forth. They can't break beyond that barrier. They can't think outside the box. Because most times we're just bred to, work and pay our taxes and death, So, you can't be an educated fool. So now we're going to glimpse at the World article. The 5 trans athletes who made their mark before Caitlyn Jenner. See, this is all foreshadowing. They have to get the public to accept this, these people with these conditions. Mental health or mental disorder. And the most common types of mental disorders are clinical depression, anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder, dementia, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive disorder, autism, and post-traumatic stress disorder, and identity disorder or sex gender disorder, right? On a side note, I believe that the mass public could not handle that. Maybe, just my opinion, that Serena and Venus Williams are actually born males. Now we know that trans athletes come out and eventually they're exposed. And we know the technological advances of BBLs, different body parts that can be added and taken away from both genders. So one has to really ask those type of questions and do their own research. Don't believe what I say. Everyone has a mind of their own. And this is not a hate video. This is just a video to make awareness and research purposes. So right here we have Renee Richards. Renee Richards was a tennis player who underwent sex reassignment surgery in 1975. The United States Tennis Association denied her entry into the 1976 U.S. Open, but she fought the ban, and in 1977, the New York Supreme Court ruled in her favor. So now we got to ask ourselves, they're already identifying him as a her. Okay, key word, identifying him as her. She also coached Martina Navratilova, if I'm pronouncing it right, to 2 Wimbledon victories. In her 2007 autobiography, Richards expressed regrets over the type of fame that came with her transsexuality, but did not regret transitioning gender. She was inducted into the National Gay and Lesbian Sports Hall of Fame in 2013.